question here that says, I've heard of virtual home inspections. That sounds weird. What do you think? I agree. That sounds super weird, honestly. There are a lot of issues that can possibly be in a house that there's no possible way. I'm having trouble just even thinking about this, like wrapping my head around what possibly could be discovered on a home inspection that's done virtually. There's so many different issues that could be wrong with a house, and I don't really understand. I'm gonna have to look more into this honestly to see who is offering this and what it's all about because I don't understand why someone would opt to get a virtual home inspection as opposed to a home inspection by someone who's there inspecting the property in person. The only thing I can possibly think of is that maybe it's cheaper for the customer. Um, and that's one of those things where, maybe it's fine, but if it's not fine, that is going to be the most expensive $200 or $300 that you ever saved. There are I have stories. I've talked about this before on a house that I actually was under contract um, with to buy, where I had a very very thorough home inspector come out, somebody that I still use to this day for everything. I recommend him all over the place, and he discovered some foundational issues, like there were cracks in the foundation, that weren't immediately visible. I decided not to purchase the house because the seller didn't want to, do any additional due diligence. They basically said take it or leave it. And a friend of mine bought that house. That friend got divorced. Later on, his wife ended up getting the house. She went to sell the house, and that buyer had a thorough inspection. He didn't have a thorough inspection when him and his wife bought the house. That buyer had a thorough inspection. They did proper due diligence, and they discovered that this foundational, these cracks that originally were found were actually a major like foundation issue, and it cost them like $50,000 or $60,000 to mitigate that issue. All of which could have been avoided if he had just gotten a good home inspection to begin with. He could have avoided. I guess his ex-wife could have avoided this huge expense. She ended up not making any money. Like all of the profit that she would have made when selling this house was eaten up to fix all these repairs, which were there before they even bought the house. So, I would say of all the things that you can possibly cheap out on or try to save a buck, I don't think that a home inspection on a multiple $100,000 purchase is something that you should take half measures with. That's just my opinion.